Before we get into the video, please go ahead and subscribe if you haven't already. We have an insane ratio of people who watch our content and are not subscribed, so it would mean a lot for me and Carson. Go ahead and subscribe if you haven't already. Now let's get into the video.
Welcome back to another 206 208 sports video. Spring games are going on in college football. Carson, what are your thoughts on Boise State's spring game?
Boise, Boise State spring game was it was good. I watched it. I mean, you can't really take away a lot. They weren't tackling until the second half, but man, Malachi Nelson's arm is legit. It comes out fast. He can make all the throws. Genty looked good. Got a little hurt at the end, but it was just like a cramp. Tiller, backup quarterback, did not look as good as people thought. He's probably QB3. Madsen's going to be back in the summer. There's going to be a quarterback battle. Malachi Nelson plays like he did on Saturday. It's his job. The defense looked good. They had 5 sacks and a pick. None of them on my boy Malachi Nelson. What else? Special teams, not a lot. They just punted and practice that way. The offense had a little more creativity, I'll say that, and I really expect the team to be really good. I can't find a weak spot, bro. There's the way to play Boise State is they're gonna try to stop Genty in the run game and load the box, but you got Prince Strawn, Caples, Marshall, Bolt, Louder, tight end. You're going to have weapons to go attack the ball downfield when everyone's sucked up on Genty. If Malachi Nelson or Maddox Madsen has an average arm, that's all we need. And I believe one of those two players will be above average and make the throws. This Boise State team will be able to throw it deep. You're going to pick your poison. You're either going to suck up on Genty or you're going to play the pass. And this team should average around 37 points a game. I'm being serious. What was your thoughts on UW spring so far? And Jed
Yeah,
Fish coming over from Arizona.
yeah. So I mean, just first, happy that Will Rogers is a Husky. I mean, there were a lot of question marks at quarterback. So yeah, good to see him. Looks good. Also Jonah Coleman coming over from Arizona. That's going to be huge. I think, you know, obviously you lost Michael Penix and you know, lost a lot of the receivers, and basically everybody. And so just getting, new faces and seeing them in action is good. I think Jed Fish, he's already brought over some veterans in the game. Like Bill Belichick. Kind of he spoke with
Yeah.
the team. Pete Carroll's with the, they're not members of the coaching staff, but they're speakers and they're giving advice and you know, um, just super good. I think that this team obviously they're going to have a tough road ahead in the Big Ten this year, but I think that UW can really make a new just start a new era here in the Big Ten. They can make a statement, and super excited to see where this team's at in September.
Yeah, I'm going to add on and say Jed Fish, give him 2 years. He's going to rock it in um, Husky Nation. They're going to like it. But I will say this. If Florida becomes open next year, I would be sweating it out because he's a Florida alum.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So, and he's a job hopper. I'm not gonna lie. So,
I'm not, I'm not gonna even really think about it.
and the last thing on Boise State, we talk about Genty as a running back. There's a freshman that is 17 years old, should be at prom, is legit. He had 5 for 63, and I've heard only good things about him. Sire Gaines, Breezy Dubar played well. They have 3 running backs that could carry the load. They got 5 to 6 receivers that are scary. I believe this team could go to Eugene and win if the defense plays up to par. I don't see that though. I think they could score points on Oregon. I don't know if they could stop Oregon though, but that's a different video. We'll be previewing. We'll preview our 2 teams
Yeah.
in this summer, and we'll preview more teams. But just a spring outlook, do you think Boise State fans should be excited about a potential playoff berth, or do you think it's too far-fetched this year?
I think they should definitely be excited. I think that you can see, I mean, obviously with the new format, the window's open for a lot of, teams that it really wasn't open
Yeah.
for before. And, I think that Boise State kind of fits that category. You got some star power now with Malachi Nelson. And I think that, just gotta take it one game at a time. You can't feel like, oh, we have to play the perfect season, but you got to play a pretty good one to get in. And I
Yeah,
think,
I think 10-2, 11-1 gets you in because that Oregon loss, I think they're going to be a top 5 team by the end of the season.
yeah,
And
11-1 for sure.
Tulane, they play Florida State and Kansas State, and I think who is it? Memphis plays another. Two of the top American athletic teams play tough non-cons too. The team I'm worried about is Liberty. They play. I don't know if I should say that word, but their schedule is atrocious. I was gonna say a different word,
Yeah,
but they play like nobody, no Power Fives. Their conference is weak. I think you could see it 11-2 Boise State, 12-1 Boise State get in over undefeated Liberty.
yeah. I mean, it's kind of crazy to say this, but I guess going undefeated with a bad schedule, or I mean, going undefeated, I don't think it really holds that value if you're not playing good teams. Um,
Yeah.
just in general, and it's just a tough situation. Gotta get those tough games on the schedule. And I think Boise State with Oregon, I don't think it gets any tougher than that. I mean, there's only a couple teams that are better than Oregon right now on paper.
Oregon, Wazoo, Oregon State. Those are 3 decent. I mean, Wazoo won't be that good this year. Boise State will be favored in 11 out of 12 games, I would
Yeah,
say.
yeah, for sure.
I think UW has the work cut out for them. I'm going to be honest, Jeff. I think they're a 6-6, 7-5 team, and that's okay. That's okay. But I will say this: Jed Fish, by year 2 or 3, if he sticks around, will have this team in the playoffs regularly. I think this is a UW team in the long run is better off. But I think Will Rogers, he might get his feet wet. I haven't looked at their schedule that much, but I know they play Michigan,
Mhm.
Oregon, USC. I'm
Yeah,
not really high on USC this year. I think they could win that. I think 8-4 is their ceiling. 9-3 is their ceiling. Eight and
I'm
four
saying
is
I'm saying 9-3 or even 10-2 is a ceiling. I mean, I really think that that's a ceiling, and I just like here's the thing about Oregon UW. No matter how good each team is, that it's always something about those games.
Yeah. That's like Boise State, BYU. Anyways, last thing, we're gonna do the ceilings on the coaches. UW, we're gonna compare them to their last coach. Kalen DeBoer is Jed Fish gonna be in between Kalen DeBoer and Chris Peterson,
Yeah,
or closer to Jimmy Lake?
yeah, in between them, I would say.
In between who?
Peterson and DeBoer. He's not.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, he.
And for Spencer Danielson, I think Coach Pete, his ceiling is going to be in between Coach Pete and Coach Harson, and his floor is going to be in between. I think he'll be, no matter what, he'll be a better coach than Avalos and Harson. I think that's the floor. His ceiling will be better than Harson and Pete. I think that's the happy medium. I see this going good. We'll come back with more videos this summer. We're going to preview a lot of teams.
Yeah, thank you guys for watching. We'll
Yep.
see you in the next one.
Yep. Thank you.